Have you ever given someone your time, your energy, your loyalty, only to realize they never valued it in the first place? Have you ever walked away from a conversation feeling smaller, weaker, drained, wondering why some people always take, while others always lose? That's because most people are taught to be nice, but never taught how to protect themselves, and that is exactly what the Stoics warned about thousands of years ago. In this video, we'll uncover 5 things you should never give people, even if they beg, pressure, manipulate, or guilt you into it. These lessons are inspired by the wisdom of Marcus Aurelius and Stoic philosophy that can completely transform your mindset, your relationships, and even your love life. So before we begin, subscribe to the channel, like this video, and stay until the very end, because one of these lessons may completely change the way you deal with people forever. Now imagine this. A young man spent years trying to please everyone around him. He answered every call immediately. He apologized even when he wasn't wrong. He sacrificed sleep, peace, and happiness just to avoid disappointing others. And at first, people loved him for it. But slowly, something changed. People stopped respecting him. Friends only contacted him when they needed favors. His relationship became emotionally exhausting. And the more he gave, the emptier he felt. One night, exhausted and alone, he came across a quote from Marcus Aurelius. "You have power over your mind, not outside events." That sentence hit him like lightning. For the first time, he realized his suffering wasn't caused by other people. It was caused by what he kept allowing people to take from him. And maybe you're doing the same thing. The first thing you should never give people is unlimited access to your peace. Most people think peace is weakness, but the Stoics believed peace was power, because a person who controls their emotions cannot be controlled by others. Yet every day, people hand over their peace freely. Someone criticizes them. Their entire mood is ruined. Someone ignores their message. Anxiety takes over. Someone disrespects them. Anger burns inside for hours. Why? Because they allowed another person to become the owner of their emotional state. Marcus Aurelius warned against this constantly. He believed that if another person can disturb your inner calm, then you've become their servant without realizing it. Think about that carefully. The moment someone else controls your emotions, they control you, and manipulative people know this. They provoke you on purpose. They create drama. They test your reactions. They feed on emotional chaos because chaos gives them power. But the Stoic remains calm. Not because they feel nothing, but because they understand something deeper. They understand that protecting inner peace is more important than winning arguments. There's a reason calm people intimidate emotional manipulators. Because when you stop reacting emotionally, you become impossible to control. The second thing you should never give people is your self-respect. This is where many people destroy themselves without noticing. They tolerate disrespect because they fear losing people. They accept being ignored, used, lied to, humiliated, all because they're afraid of being alone. But Stoicism teaches the opposite. The moment you trade self-respect for approval, you lose both. Marcus Aurelius believed dignity mattered more than popularity, and history proves it. Some of the strongest people in history stood alone rather than betray themselves, because once self-respect disappears, everything else collapses. After it, confidence disappears, boundaries disappear, identity disappears. And the worst part, people can sense it instantly. The world treats you based on what you tolerate. If you tolerate disrespect, people will continue disrespecting you. There's a story about a philosopher who was insulted publicly by a wealthy man. Everyone expected him to explode in anger, but instead he calmly smiled and walked away. Later, someone asked him, "Why didn't you defend yourself?" The philosopher replied, "If a donkey kicks me, should I kick it back?" That is Stoic power. Not reacting to disrespect doesn't mean you accept it. It means you refuse to lower yourself for people who lack character. Remember this: a person who abandons self-respect to keep others happy eventually loses themselves completely. The third thing you should never give people is endless explanations. This one is difficult for kind-hearted people, because good people often feel the need to explain themselves constantly. Why they said no, why they need space, why they're tired, why they made a decision. And toxic people love this, because every explanation becomes an opportunity to manipulate you. The Stoics believed that truth does not need endless defense if your intentions are clear. You do not owe the world a courtroom speech for every decision you make. Many people keep explaining themselves because they want validation, but Marcus Aurelius understood something powerful. The more desperate you are to be understood, the more power you hand away. Strong people set boundaries without writing essays. No is a complete sentence. And people who truly respect you will understand without needing endless justification. Think about how much energy people waste trying to convince others to approve of their choices. They explain themselves to family, friends, partners, co-workers, and after all the explaining, many people still judge them anyway. That's because some people don't misunderstand you accidentally. They misunderstand you intentionally. They twist your words, challenge your decisions, force you into emotional defense mode. Why? Because if they can keep you explaining yourself, they keep you emotionally trapped. The Stoic steps out of that trap. They understand that not everyone deserves access to their inner world. The fourth thing you should never give people is control over your future. Most people never realize how dangerous this is. They let others decide who they become. Parents choose their dreams, friends choose their lifestyle, society chooses their definition of success. And slowly, they wake up living a life they never truly wanted. Marcus Aurelius warned against becoming a slave to public opinion because society is constantly changing. One generation praises something, the next generation mocks it. If you build your identity based on what people think, you'll spend your entire life changing masks to survive. The Stoics believed a wise person must think independently, not arrogantly, not rebelliously, but consciously. There's a huge difference between listening to advice and surrendering your destiny. Many people stay in toxic relationships because others expect them to. Many people stay broke because they fear criticism. Many people never pursue greatness because they worry about judgment. But here's the truth. Every extraordinary person in history disappointed someone. Every strong man or woman had moments where society misunderstood them, and that's the price of authenticity. One day an old man was asked, "What is the greatest tragedy in life?" He answered, "To die as someone you were never meant to become." That's what happens when you let others control your future. You become disconnected from yourself. The Stoic refuses this. They listen carefully, observe wisely, but ultimately, they choose their own path. And finally, the fifth thing you should never give people is your entire identity. This is perhaps the most dangerous mistake of all. Some people lose themselves inside relationships. Others lose themselves in careers. Others lose themselves trying to fit in. They become whatever others want them to be, and at first it feels safe, because when people approve of you, you feel accepted. But eventually, something painful happens. You look in the mirror and no longer recognize yourself. Marcus Aurelius constantly reminded himself, you are your own soul. Not your status, not your relationship, not your reputation, your soul. That means your identity must never depend entirely on another person, because people change, relationships end, crowds disappear, and if your identity was built only around others, you collapse when they leave. This is why Stoics value solitude, not because they hate people, but because solitude helps them remember who they are. A strong person can love deeply without losing themselves, can help others without becoming a servant, can care without surrendering identity. And that balance changes everything. There's a powerful story about a king who asked a philosopher, "How can I become unshakable?" The philosopher handed him a cup filled to the edge with water and said, "Walk through the crowded city without spilling a drop." The king focused so intensely on protecting the water that he ignored the noise, distractions, and chaos around him. When he returned, the philosopher smiled and said, That is how you protect your mind. The world will always try to distract you. People will always ask for pieces of you. Some will ask politely. Others will manipulate. Others will guilt-trip you emotionally. But Stoicism teaches one timeless truth. If you give everything away, eventually, nothing remains of you. Protect your peace. Protect your self-respect. Protect your boundaries. Protect your future. Protect your identity, because once you master these things, people stop controlling your emotions, and something incredible happens. You become calm in chaos, confident without validation, strong without aggression, and independent without loneliness. That is the Stoic mindset, not coldness, not selfishness, but self-mastery. And in today's world, self-mastery is rare. Most people are addicted to approval, addicted to attention, addicted to emotional reactions. But the Stoic becomes free. Free from manipulation, free from fear, free from the exhausting need to please everyone. And once you experience that freedom, you'll never want to go back. So the next time someone asks for your peace, your dignity, your identity, ask yourself one question: will giving this away make me stronger or weaker? Because every choice shapes the person you become. And Marcus Aurelius understood this better than most. He ruled an empire. Yet his greatest battle was always within himself. Not against enemies, not against critics, but against weakness, emotional chaos, and loss of self-control. That is the real war every human being faces. And the people who win that war internally become unstoppable externally. If this message resonated with you, subscribe to the channel, like this video, and comment below. Protect your peace. And remember, the strongest person in the room is often the calmest one. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.